In this video we're going to move some money from the general fund to the children designated fund, but leaving within the same St Mary's current account. The first thing we need to do is to go to Transactions, Transactions Assistance, and then Account Fund Transfers. Click on that, and we are looking for Bank and Fund Transfer. This is moving cash from one fund to another fund, or one account to another. And so we have 5 steps to go through. This is the first step. So the first question is how much? I'm going to transfer £200, and we are going to do it on the 20th of January. I'm going to put a reference in of for children's work, and I'm going to transfer between 2 funds but for the same bank account. So the money isn't actually going to show up on the bank statement as moving because it's in the current account, the St Mary's current account, but it is going to transfer between 2 different funds. Take the next step. So we need to select the fund it is coming from, which is the general fund. That's now been selected there. You come down and enter next step. Which fund is the money going into? I'm putting it into the designated fund for children's work. Select that. That's now showing there, and we hit next step. Select the account containing the money. This is going to be the St Mary's current account, which at the top of the list is already selected. Appears there. We can then hit next step. So we have a summary at step 5. £200 on the 20th of January from St Mary's current account, and it's staying in the St Mary's current account. It's from the general fund and is going to the children's work fund. And if I'm happy with all of that, I can save and post, and we get our audit number. Click OK, and we go back to the dashboard. Now this goes to a transfer between 2 different bank accounts but of the same fund. We're going to stay within the St Mary's Fabric Fund, but we're going to move some money from the deposit account into the current account because we've got a large bill coming up. So we go up to Transactions, Transactions Assistant, Account Fund Transfers, Bank and Fund Transfer. Total amount this time is £2,500, and it is going to take place on the 28th of January, and we're going to say for roof repairs. This time we want this top one transferring between 2 bank accounts from the deposit account to the current account for the same fund, the Fabric Fund in both cases. So select that, and come to the next step. What account is the money coming out of? Well, this time it's coming out of the St Mary's deposit account. So we highlight that. That now shows up here. Scroll down and hit next step. What account is the money going into? Well, it's the St Mary's current account at the top of the list. That shows up there, and we hit next step. Select the fund that this money belongs to. This is the restricted St Mary's Church Fabric Fund. So we highlight that. It appears in this list, in this box here, and we hit next step. We now at step 5 have our summary. So the amount is £2,500 on the 28th of January from the deposit account to the current account, and it is within the St Mary's Church Fabric Fund. Happy with all of that information? If I'm not, I have the option to go back and step back through each of the steps. But I'm happy with that, so I'm going to save and post. Audit numbers there, click OK, and then come back to the dashboard. In this, we're going to move £500 from the deposit account general fund to the current account churchyard designated fund. So we're going to do two processes at the same time. We start with transactions, transactions assistant, account fund transfers, bank and fund transfers. Amount of money, £500. The date is the 7th of April. Reference for churchyard maintenance. Transfer between two funds and two bank accounts in one process. This is the one we want. So select that. Click on the next step, and you'll see that we've actually got an extra step this time. We've got 6 steps. So, what account is the money coming out of? St Mary's deposit account. Check that's in the window there. Hit next step. What account is the money going into? St Mary's current account. That's showing up there. Hit next step. What fund is the money coming out of? It's coming out of the general fund. That's shown up there. Hit next step. What fund is the money going into? This is the churchyard designated fund. So we have the ability to put it back into the general fund because it's designated, not restricted, not under legal obligation to spend it on the churchyard, but we've set it aside to spend on the churchyard. Click that. And here's our summary. £500 moving on the 7th of April from the deposit account to the current account, from the general fund to the churchyard fund. Happy with all that? Save and post. And there's our audit number. Okay, and we'll finish on the dashboard.